If you want to know how to cook rice in the microwave, you're in the right place. Just keep watching, and by the end of this video, you'll know how to cook perfect rice every single time without ever having to pull out a pot. This is my way to do it. I don't know if there's a right way or a wrong way, but this is my way and it works for me. So I always take however much rice I need or I want to cook. I didn't measure it. I just put how much I think we're gonna eat into a bowl. And now I'm gonna start to add in some water. And I will go about an inch above the rice with the water. And then I literally just put this in the microwave for 15 minutes. The reason why I always start with 15 minutes is because it gives it enough time to cook enough so that I can decide whether or not it needs more water before it dries out. And that's with me doing like a large amount of rice. This is a pretty big bowl. After that 15 minutes, the rice is mostly done, and all I have to do from there is decide whether it's too mushy or it's still too wet, or if it's really dry. Then I can make a determination based on how it looks after 15 minutes and decide what needs to happen. So if it is super wet, which it typically isn't when I put that much water over the rice, usually I need to add more water. So what I'll do is, if you go with like an inch above the rice as far as the water goes, then after 15 minutes, you will give it a stir, because the rice on the bottom has more water in it than the rice on the top. The rice on the top dries out first because because of gravity, the water seeps to the bottom of the bowl. So I give it a stir to kind of distribute the wetter pieces of rice with the drier pieces. I add more water, and then I put it back in the microwave for another 15 minutes, for another like 5 or 6 minutes. And I'll show you guys that process when it's done after this first 15 minutes. Okay, so here's what we're looking like after 15 minutes. You can see it still has a little bit of moisture in it. It's not completely dry yet, but it also doesn't have enough moisture to carry it through the cooking process for the last 5 minutes. Just gonna mix it up. You can see it's not wet enough to continue to cook without any more water. Like if you cook this like it is for another 6 minutes, it's gonna be really dry and it's not gonna turn out right. So just gonna give it a stir to distribute whatever moisture is left in here, because I noticed that when I cook it the whole 20 minutes without stirring it in between, it definitely gets dry on the top, and I end up having to toss out some of the rice that's on the top. So at this point, I usually do probably about somewhere between a half and 3/4 of a cup of water. Just about that much, probably about a half cup. Give it a little bit more of a stir. You just want to get that water evenly distributed, and then I really just pop this right back in the microwave for another 5 minutes. This is what it looks like up close, and the taste of it is still a little bit crunchy, so it definitely needs to go back for a little bit longer. So here's what our rice looks like after the second time in the microwave. Looking good. I promise you it comes out perfectly every single time when I make it like this. But I want to give you guys one more little tip, and this will make sure it's perfect. So when you pull it out, as soon as you take it out of the microwave while it's still piping hot, just put some plastic wrap over it. If you taste it and it's a little bit crunchy, add a little bit more water and put plastic wrap on it, and it'll steam in here, and it will be perfect by the time you remove it. It'll only take a few minutes, and I promise you'll have perfect rice.